A city delegation has returned from the annual ROMA Conference where they spoke to a number of Ford government ministers about key local priorities.
That included talks about possibly demolishing the former Lakehead Psychiatric Hospital and using the land for housing. Vasilios Bellows spoke to the delegation today and brings us more.
The city of Thunder Bay has a plan for the LPH property.
So our request is that building be demolished and that those lands be completely remediated.
Councillor Kristen Oliver chairs the Intergovernmental Affairs Committee and was part of a city delegation that has just returned from the annual Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference. One of the key talking points with provincial ministers, what to do with the Ontario-owned LPH property. The city has begun discussions with Ontario to demolish the building and possibly build townhouses or apartments.
We know that that building was built a long time ago. It does not meet the needs of what we have now, an accessibility piece. There's, asbestos and all the gamut of things that building materials that were used in days gone by.
There's no timelines for a government decision on the land, but Mayor Ken Boshkov says the project is already attracting interest.
Our issue would never be finding someone who is interested in or who doesn't have the capacity. They all have the capacity to do this.
The delegation also advocated for policing supports, including around the need for a forensic pathology unit. Currently, a locum team comes to the city once a week out of the month.
When are we going to be looking at a permanent solution?
Councillor Casey Atraney is also a police board member and says advocacy for a forensic pathology unit is crucial, with the current method being costly.
Providing support to the service, because at this point they need to travel to Toronto with those post-mortem patients. And how are we going to support that financially? Because right now the taxpayer is doing that.
While the ROMA Conference provides the delegation face-to-face time with provincial ministers, it doesn't often lead to immediate benefits for Thunder Bay. The delegates spoke more to how meetings in recent years have eventually led to important funding.
Some funding for the safe sobering sites and the addiction pieces. That is something that the Intergovernmental Affairs Committee has been hammering away at in 23 and 24. So we know that the government has heard us.
Addictions has received a lot of funding. That's a really important piece not to miss or look over. And with the growth piece, we're going to see some more announcements coming. So some of these pieces aren't from one meeting to the next and we get announcements. Some of them are 1.5 to 2 years in advance.
Vasilios Bellows, TVC News.